This is Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. We're on PlayStation 5, taking a look at this great upgraded version of the PS3, well, late PS3 era title. So the Definitive Edition came out early on in the PS4 lifespan. So what we're getting here is 1080p at now 60 FPS smoothly. So yeah, it kind of went up to 60 and it wasn't necessarily perfect, but now we actually do get to experience that smooth, nice, and great frame rate perfectly the whole time through. So this is a game I'm, quite familiar with. I've played it a number of times, and it's just one excellent start to Lara Croft's journey, the Survivor series, which is a new, direction for the character that was continued with Rise of the Tomb Raider and then eventually Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Again, a very great collection of 3 games that I'm very much looking forward to hopefully continuing in the future as well, because I have loved each of them. It was really exciting. I actually got to go and see the sort of preview first reveal for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I was flown out by Square Enix to go and do that. It was really exciting. So, it's always a pleasure, not only, kind of playing the games, but also just having that, fond experience with them as well. Because I'm a big fan of these titles. Crystal Dynamics did a fantastic job with them, and this is an excellent start to that journey, especially if it's something that you haven't played before, because, it's a great time to experience that. It's the start of a character becoming, getting her feel of the world and becoming more of a definitive, I guess you could say, Tomb Raider, and or really starting to understand who she is, becoming more of a powerful character over time. And this is just that initial sort of, starting aspect, getting her feel for the world, going out there and adventuring and figuring out what exactly is going on here. So yeah, it's kind of a dramatic bit of an opening, but in general I want to say this game is a near perfect experience. There's also a multiplayer portion as well, though I'm not really sure if you're going to run into too many people on that one at this point, but it was actually really quite fun multiplayer that was decently competitive. Another neat element, I don't know if that's picking up on the mic, is that the controller makes sounds as well due to what's going on in this. So you can actually hear, certain crunches and stuff like that. So I hope that's kind of picking up. I don't know if it is. So you get a mix of, adventuring action sequences, also a little bit of survival, light survival elements, upgrading weapons and tools, and going on this adventure on this island. There are also tons of collectibles that you can gather as you go across your journey, or afterwards when you finish it, and you can go back and gather more collectibles. And you'll also find challenge tombs to work through, and it does look absolutely fantastic. Keeping in mind again that this is, sort of an upgraded version over that initial earlier generation release, which I thought was fantastic then. Back in that late PS3 era, I was just very impressed with what this game, kind of provided gameplay wise. I thought it was fantastic, and then earlier on we get this nice upgrade, and I was like, oh wow, this is quite spectacular. I'm very happy with this. Fire is needed to ignite this object, and it's just great to be back here and talking about the game as well, because I did also take a look at this on the Series X, and I've played it again multiple times across different consoles. It's cool just to experience what the game has to offer. Can I blow up here? Nice. But yeah, it feels really nice and smooth. So even if you've played this before, I think coming back to it, you might be pleasantly surprised just by the increase in performance is the biggest thing. Making sure that we are getting that, sort of basically locked 60. And despite being a 1080p game, I do think it does look still quite sharp. I mean, obviously having it boosted up would be nice, but, I think the game does have a nice visual quality and style to it. Come on, Lara, go, go, go. I also have a feeling that someday we'll probably get, a remake of this or something. I do see that eventually happening. But yeah, this is just like a really great opening segment, and my favorite thing to kind of film, because it shows off a little bit of like the puzzle elements. It introduces you to some of the gameplay mechanics that are here too. It's just like a really good sort of starting point. Let's see if we can figure this puzzle out. There we go. Break it open. So yeah, it's also not just complete action. There is a high level of, you know, vulnerability for the character as well. I mean, this is kind of her first adventure. She's not used to this kind of, you know, scenarios, these types of challenges. And it's just really cool to see the character mature, especially across the 3 different games. You really do kind of have to experience them all in order to get like the full sort of journey going on. And I do feel that they are, you know, each quite excellent titles and definitely worth your time. But this is just a really cool, you know, action-packed opening segment. Ugh. I think it's you primed and ready for the game. It's a beautiful reinvention of the character. Go, Lara, go! Oh, there goes that guy. I don't know if the torch should really be a priority in the kind of situation she's dealing with. Quick time segment. Oh, another really cool thing was like the water and the sweat, and I guess the blood as well, can kind of like dry on the character, if that makes sense over a while. Like they did some finer adjustments, like physics-wise, to things on her body, like if she's got something on her belt, you know, they have more advanced physics and movement for this. Some of the texturing upgrades, you know, they like the sweat drying and that. So those were kind of, you know, features. And I think they also upgraded some of the like the visual elements of her character, like model, facial structure, and stuff like that as well for this one. And they're doing the title sequence thing across the top of the screen. Oh! I wonder what was the first game that started doing that, where they're like, you know, it seems like almost every game now that's more RPG oriented has like a moment where it opens to a big splash screen when you're looking over a mountain or something, and it's like the title of the game. But yeah, this is just her becoming a bit of an adventurer.
Where are they?
Exploring and trying to figure things out. Survivor vision. There's voice indicators? Really? Oh wow, voice control. I honestly did not know that at all.
Take it slow.
Show map. I think I have the mic thing muted, so maybe that's why. Beautiful setting. And I'm already thinking of how this game could be like remade and, you know, things that could touch up on it, but it still does look really good. I would say that the gameplay holds up very well if you've been curious about this one and how it handles. So you get elements of climbing, there is some combat. I guess you could use a little bit of a melee type style, but it's mostly different weapons she gets, guns. You can have like improved shotguns, assault rifles, mostly like pistols and stuff though for a lot of it. You know, you get better tools as you continue to survive and different ways to traverse the environment. Aside from just manual climbing, you get like zipline things and, you know, more advanced grapple stuff. It's quite advanced in that regard. You do get quite a bit of tools. And then the later ones you get more and more tools too, which is nice. Oh, she's also got this really cool interactive element with the environment. So she kind of like will, you know, if there's a fire near her, she'll sort of put her hands out. If there's like a wall, she'll like brace up against it. Just smaller touches like that, which were nice to have.
Sam's pack.
And it moves so seamlessly between like cutscenes.
Sam!
You know, these cinematic moments and regular
They
gameplay.
must have come this way.
Very consistent too, which is nice.
Sam? Roth? Can anyone hear me? I've got to find them. Okay.
And they love doing that too. Throwing you around and giving you a little mix-ups on where you think you're going. I think that's what she gets her fire scenario. Oh yeah, you can shoot that. That's collectible. But you gotta have the bow.
Looks abandoned. Is anyone listening? Please respond. Here's the soon-to-be world-famous archaeologist, Lara Croft, in her native habitat. She's on the hunt for the lost kingdom of Yamatai, home to the fabulous Himiko, mythical Sun Queen, and ancestor of yours truly.
Sam, this is serious.
Oh, sweetie, I know. I'm just trying to lighten the mood here. Everyone's so on edge. What are you so worried about?
I'm close to something. I'm sure of it. I just don't know if the others will listen. Or even if they should.
Lara, you know this stuff better than anyone. Seriously, I'm not just saying this to make you feel better. I trust you, Roth trusts you. You got this. Now let's take a break, okay?
Okay, okay. And Sam, thanks.
She's not always this serious, you know?
Come on, tackle it!
How can you suggest I'm not...
And back to regular gameplay.
just sit here. I've got to
A little bit of the first hunt.
Oh, God. What's going on here? Wait. I can use that bow. I can do this.
Grab the bow. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get any of that over your open wound there, eh?
Let's see if this thing still works. Just remember Roth's training.
Where did you get the arrows from?
You can have the best form and technique in the world, but it won't mean it.
That sounds pretty cool on the controller.
The key to using any weapon is focus.
So hungry. I need to find something to eat.
There we go, first meal.
Sorry.
And that is Tomb Raider Definitive Edition on PS5.
All right, Lara. You won't always have some fancy gadget.